Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hi, Zero. See somebody wave to me in the audience. Papa Shmo, are you with us?
I am with you, good sir.
Oh, it's going to be another exciting Super Metroid night. I can feel it coming.
I am hyped for everything that's about to happen. We've got Zoast, we've got sashoboss, and I am ready for some Super Metroid tournament 100% completion. Let's go.
This, I got to tell you, Papa, this is easily for me my favorite category. I know that a lot of people favor some of the shorter categories, but just something about Hundo, just the amount of the game you see, the strats that kind of progress with difficulty as you go on. It's just like it's just an endurance match of just will and just concentration and just I really think as you go on in the game the strats get harder and harder, so being able to keep up that intensity for an hour and 14 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, hour and 28 minutes, whatever your PB is, hour and 45 minutes if you're a mid-level runner. I mean, what an exciting show this is going to be tonight.
Absolutely. We're going to be able to see every part of the planet tonight, and yes, as you stated, as we go on, there's going to be many a strats to be seen, to be attempted. We've obviously got some very high level runners here tonight. Actually, anybody in this tournament who qualified had to have some really good high level play going on. And so we're going to see a whole bunch of fancy schmancy talent and stuff going on. Yeah, I think I concur as far as you go on in the run. The strats that you do just continue to get harder and harder, and it's really going to be a treat here tonight, man. I'm ready for all of this to kick off.
I'm already taking a look in the chat, and I see sashoboss is telling us that his PB is a 127.50. Could have a 26, but so I guess we're gonna see. I hope Sasho gets his 126, or I hope he does better. I mean, it's got to be quite a challenge to face Zoast, who in this community I'm sure needs no introduction. I think he owns the most world records out of all the categories in Super Metroid. I can't think of another runner who has mastered more categories than Zoast.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think if you've been watching any type of Super Metroid races, you know who Zost's name is. You may know Sasha Boss, and just to kind of tap, if Sasha Boss said that his PB is a 127.50, he's already dropped it since qualifiers. It was a 128.07, so he's obviously been practicing, obviously been improving, and is ready to put it all on the line here tonight.
You know what? Those are some good stats, and I hope you can, give us some more stats as the race goes on. Since we have Zoast and Sasho Boss here, I'm not sure where Sasho sits as far as his rankings on, either Deer Tier or SRC, but I know that Zoast is currently third, so he's the bronze medal guy right now as far as Hundo is going. So he's definitely a candidate that we would expect would go to the last match.
Absolutely, yeah. You want some stats, man? I'll give you some stats. So Zost's qualifying time for the qualifiers for this tournament was a 1:14:39. He is in fact third on Deer Tier at 1:14:25. So he's obviously got those low times. He's got great consistency as well. I'm sure we'll see here, and I'm sure Sasha Boss has a lot to show us as well. So,
Well, I
no,
have a question here. So, Zoast is we've seen has been grinding the map completion record for a little bit here. How do you think that will affect his play in Hundo? Do you think he'll get flustered by that, because it is definitely different strats, different route. But again, you are seeing a lot of Planet Zebes.
absolutely, yeah. I think that anybody who has run Super Metroid for some time and jumps around in different categories has had that moment or two where they've realized, oh, I'm not running this category, I'm running this other one in the middle of the run. So I think we've all kind of experienced that. But I think Zost has been practicing enough of this. I think he's poised. He's very focused, and I don't think we'll foresee any mistakes here tonight.
Ooh, 45.94 for Zoast and a 42.64 for sashoboss on their Ceres Escape. Both getting hit by a little bit of steam here and there, but again, consistent from Zoast. He's usually that 46 mark, 45, high 45. So pretty exciting Ceres Escape.
Absolutely. I think anything above 44 or 41 is definitely somewhat of a success leaving series. You didn't have any crazy steam hit you in the face and tell you no. So I think these runners are off to a good start so far.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So as soon as we enter the planet Zebes, we got some storming going on, kind of creating a wonderful atmosphere, a wonderful mood here. It's a little dismal. It's a little dark. It's going to be exciting to get through here and see the planet go from this to waking up and being quite a monstrosity of an adventure.
Absolutely, and the music doesn't make it any less dismal, any less eerie. See what's going on.
Can we
As
call
far as
that foreboding?
Yes, absolutely. We've got two moonfalls. That's not a surprise with the caliber of these runners. They're using the moonfall tech to get down the climb as fast as they can. I believe it saves a couple seconds at least. So we'll see how these runners continue to fare as we go collect ourselves some morph ball.
Some good morph ball.
Someone could
And
argue this is the best item in the game. I mean, it's the best thing. It gets you around the planet for
well,
sure.
the morph ball is makes my favorite movement in this game possible, which is the mock ball. For me, out of anything I've done in this game, I think the mock ball is one of the most satisfying strategies, one of the most satisfying movements that you can do. And of course, without the morph ball, there'd be no mock ball.
Absolutely. The mock ball is once you get into it, once you get used to it, it's some relatively easy to medium difficulty type tech, but it doesn't make it look any less cool, especially in those situations when you're coming back from getting grapple beam, as we'll see here tonight. If the runners take that early Croc route, we'll see what's referred to as the best mock ball in the game. It's just a lovely sight to see. Anybody, regardless if you've run Super Metroid or not, you're gonna call that an impressive sight for sure.
We could see that routing from sashoboss. I would expect with his time that he most likely runs an early Croc route. From Zoast, I think we're all expecting him to run early power bombs and then early ice would be my
Yep.
expectation for Zoast. And I think he's still, is he the only top tier runner doing early power bombs still? I think I saw somebody else in the tournament doing it, but I don't recall.
That's a great question. Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, we were lucky enough to comment Zost's last race where he took the same route: early power bombs, early ice. But I'm not sure if every single runner hasn't taken that early power bomb route. It's interesting. It causes a lot of interesting questions in chat every time he goes up red tower instead of down.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Yeah,
This
it's
isn't
like, wait,
80%.
how is he behind? Right. So we'll see what sashoboss decides to do here, and hopefully
We
we'll.
do have a comment in the chat saying that Sasho does late Croc, pretty sure. So that's Natalie. So that was his comment. So hey, we got a few minutes here to sit here and watch Sasho fight Bomb Terizo and watch Zoast go down for his early supers. And a couple minutes we'll find out what route is going on here.
Indeed. Meanwhile, we're gonna see how sashoboss does with Bomb Terizo. Looks like he may get a 2-round. Very nice. He's going to get out there pretty quickly. Zoast running through Terminator and on his way down to Brinstar.
Terminator is another name for a room that I really like, especially since I'm a child of the 80s. So, the Terminator movie. But I remember watching plays through of Super Metroid, and why do they call this the Terminator room? And I heard a commentator one time say, well, it's because you'll be back, I'll be back. And, just about every category, getting down to G4, you're going to be back in that room.
Absolutely. I didn't think I ever heard the explanation of why that room is called Terminator.
Really?
But as you expressed, Terminator in the child, it's just a cool name. So I really didn't question it. I just said, hey, Terminator, I dig it. I don't know why it's named Terminator, but I'm okay with it.
Some of the rune names sound like they're completely arbitrary, but if you want to get into Super Metroid lore, as far as these rooms and all their names and how they got it, most of them are named specifically for something. There's a story behind it. If that makes sense.
Absolutely, yeah. Zoast getting the nice deboost off of the enemy there after grabbing the first pack of super missiles. That one is, as long as you hit your timing pretty well, it's easy to kind of line up that enemy with the super missile as you're getting it. But if you kind of make a mistake, we'll see if sashoboss gets it here. It looks like he does. So you see he's touching the enemy as he's picking up the super missiles. So all you have to do is kind of hold right, and you'll get that deboost right there, which is great because you get the iframes, and you don't have to get hit 2 or 3 more times trying to get down to the reserve room here.
That's definitely a really cool deboost strat, and I have not been able to get that yet, but I've been close. I want to say, Zoast, you had pointed out earlier about the best mock ball in the game that we may get a chance to see. We might not if they're both going to do early ice, but Zoast just got that really sweet, really difficult mock ball coming out of the reserve tank room, and I want to see if sashoboss gets that as Zoast makes his way down to charge beam.
Absolutely, that is a sweet mock ball. You can see he's going for
Come
it
on,
here.
Sasho.
Nice jump through. Very
Oh,
nice.
nailed it.
Oh,
And I like that strat with the bomb right there. I think, as soon as you pick up the missile, boom, the little pillar there is kind of out of your way. You can do a little mock through there and then jump right back out of the room, and you're on your way to charge beam.
Yep. It's one of those little small little nuances you'll see a lot of here during these runs that just give you a little bit of extra time, a half second, a quarter second, a couple frames. But this run and the caliber of these runners are really just penny pinching for these frames just to get a little bit more in each room and just pull their times well ahead, and they're really impressive.
Yeah, Zoast just pulled a really, really sweet, green hill zone right there, which is the section I call the dance. Just the way you go through all those enemies, it's just like a little bit of a dance. You do the long jump to the mock ball, and after the mock ball, you're trying to shoot the gate and then take the deboost off the enemy, and then use the iframes to get through the next guy, and it just kind of flows together with the music really well, just kind of like a dance, and that's my favorite early section of the game, and we got sashobosses coming right to it. I hope I see another good dance.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I don't think you can't help but dance to this music. This is lovely music. I mean,
My favorite Super Metroid sound right here.
I don't know if I would call it my favorite, but I don't know if any of this music is my favorite. I just Super Metroid music in general. I'm down to get down to, if you will.
Oh man, here comes let's see, Zoast just got his early power bombs with a D boost, and we got that red tower music, which is also really great. I've actually heard a lot of people say, hey, what are your favorite sounds in the game? And I've heard a lot of stuff picked. A lot of people really like the Lower Norfair music. A lot of people love that green and pink Brinstar music. And then there's some people that like the calm of Meridia, the quiet or kind of the eerie sounds of Meridia. So this game really takes you on an adventure, and that's the great thing about Hundo. You get to spend a lot of time in those wonderful areas.
Absolutely, man. The music might be my favorite part of this game, even though it's hard to even say that. Zoast making an awesome show back down Red Tower. He had 2 moonfalls, one in the upper portion and one in the lower portion, and didn't skip a beat. It was a really nice movement to see there.
How many more places are these guys going to find, moonwalks? That's just unbelievable to me. You always hear about the major moonwalks coming down the climb is a major one, that everybody talks about. But in Hundo, there's so many different moonfalls. There's the moonfall out of Plasma. There's moonfall down to Dragon's lair. Oh, Zo's just got a really sweet super missile strat to get into Croc's lair. I'm sorry, Kraid's lair, but geez, I mean, we're here talking about the story. Look at all this great movement going on here. Look at they're both going to line up for Kraid, which is pretty cool considering they're doing a different route. Here you got Zoast picking up those missiles.
Needs to be careful on this health here.
Oh man. Oh wow.
He's not
Yeah.
too. Yeah, he's going back to collect a couple of 5 health. I think that's a
Don't
smart
hit mini
play.
Kraid, buddy. Oh,
Yep.
I've gotten. He's
Yeah,
gotten me
he's okay.
before.
He's got 52. He's gonna be all right. But I'm glad he went back to collect that couple of little mini guys there. Zoast right behind him. Obviously, as we said before, Zoast went up Red Tower to collect those power bombs first. So even looked like these guys are neck and
I
neck.
mean, you see how far ahead he is already.
Right. Yeah, he's just got some great movement. Looks like Zoast is doing a little um, what looks like he had to take
You know,
another
I
shot at
think
that Kraid quick kill. He was doing some damage to make sure that I think it's some lag reduction strats
yes,
that he
it's
was
a
doing
lag
there.
reduction strat.
Right. Yeah. I think Hoda Ruby was doing some of that stuff if I remember correctly. I'm not sure who discovered that, but that's what was going on there. He wasn't trying to damage himself for funsies. He was trying
I've
to reduce
definitely
the
I
amount of
saw
lag.
Yeah, I definitely saw Hoda Ruby doing that before, and that's really interesting. And just for Zos to notice and have the reaction time to stop what he's doing and say, okay, something didn't go right there. I have to wait before I can execute this quick kill. And I got to tell you, I would have blew some super missiles right there, and Kraid would have stood up. It's just remarkable focus.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you kind of muck up the first opportunity for the Kraid quick kill, you can if you have enough missiles, you can just hold your patience, give it another shot as long as you wait for that hand to go back down. Because Kraid can definitely say talk to the hand, and
Well, so the
even though you
charge beam method that Sasha used, that keeps his arm locked in one place, if I recall. It's so there's
correct.
different movement if you're doing the missile kill versus the charge beam kill.
Yeah, and you can even do if it's not the charge beam or the missile, you can just do a P shot, and it will have the same effect as the charge shot, except the hand won't freeze in place. But you can still get the 4 supers into Kraid's mouth if you hit it during the right time.
I would say
Nice
that's
little.
probably predominantly a GT Classic strat,
Uh, put,
doing the P shooter
put,
quick kill.
it potentially that, and maybe some randomizer stuff as well.
Ah,
Because
true, true.
yeah, usually you have one or the other, but a lot of people do have that little one P shot strat used in multiple categories.
Oh my goodness. Somebody in chat is saying Zos regained the lead. But if you think about it, he's already got a couple more items that sashoboss won't get for a little while yet. So, it may look like Zost has regained the lead, but he actually cumulatively has never been out of the lead.
Yeah, but you don't need those items, right? Like we don't need to get all of them, do you? Or
Not right now, but if you want to finish this race,
oh, okay, all right. So we do need. Okay, I get it.
it is 100% item completion, right? I mean, how
Oh,
cool
okay.
is it that
I
there's 100 items?
That is very, very cool. I think the developers of this game were just like, hey man, we've got 97 items so far. Let's just make it 100. Give me 3 more locations. Just pop a couple missiles in there and call it a
Oh, so
day.
that's how the
Round it up.
cathedral missiles became a thing. That's why there's missiles near Mama Turtle E Tank. That's all.
Uno-
That's right there. It was either for that or
Unofficially,
Nintendo Power Percent.
something like that. Maybe even the Billy Mays. Maybe that's how Billy Mays missiles
Oh,
got a thing.
I had to chuckle when Billy Mays was referenced in one of the other commentaries, and somebody was asking one of the racers, like, or the other commentator, do you know who Billy Mays was? And, then I aged myself right there when they didn't know. And I'm like, oh boy, I grew up, watching that guy on infomercials. How crazy is that?
Yeah, man.
And that's not a cheap shot either. That's just kind of funny. It's just I had a moment of clarity, a moment of realization. Like, wow, that was a
Absolutely.
while
OxyClean for life.
ago. Yeah, man. Oh gosh. All right, so right now we're going down to Speed Booster, which you're a speed runner. You want to go fast. Speed Booster. We got missiles there. We got a whole bunch of stuff. It's like a shop corner around every area of Zebes.
Absolutely. I
Oh,
actually
okay.
have
Here's your
my
item.
yeah, that's my item, man. It's my favorite one. It gets you going fast. Obviously, you get the shine sparks, the blue suits, just all this the speed balls. Come on, it's just it's a great item, and I have my kids actually playing this game. My 5-year-old son is a Super Metroid fan, and he's definitely into Speed Booster as well.
That is awesome. That is really cool. So here we go with our wave beam, which is just definitely a great item. You can shoot through, you can shoot through the walls. It's pretty great. Pretty much, you can shoot through anything except enemies.
Absolutely.
Oh, Kago.
Oh,
Do you
got a
see
little
that down
Kego.
there in double chamber?
Yeah, yeah. The Sasha Boss Kego through those guys. I've done that many a times. There is a room called worst room in the game later on down in Lower Norfair, but for me, this room is the worst room in the game. I've had so many issues falling down on those guys, Kegoing through them just like Sasha Boss did, and it's just a troublesome room for sure.
I think that double chamber room is where everybody really learns the right way to judge the transition from one room to the next so you jump at the right time, which is one of the most, I mean, like down grabbing, ledge grabbing, those are great strats, but, also being able to use your timing for when Samus becomes playable. Like there's that moment where the screen hasn't fully loaded yet and you can't control Samus yet, and then all of a sudden you can. And how many times have you blown a door transition on the other side, screwing it up because you didn't jump at the right time? Double chamber, a lot you did that.
Absolutely. All right. Looks like Sasha Boss is not going early Croc. Looks like we're
All
heading
right,
to
so we
early
got
ice route.
similar routes.
Indeed. That'll
Oh,
be,
there's that mock ball out of ice you liked last
yeah,
time.
last time around. Yeah.
And I got to see it this time. I'm excited.
It caught me off guard, man. I'm sure it's not a new thing or a special thing, but when I saw it the first time, it was unexpected. So it's definitely a
And
treat.
they
Looks like
both got nice speedballs in the ice. I love that strat.
absolutely. Oh yeah, it's just fancy. And Sasha Boss gets the jump going through the door. You can hear that little as you're trying to know if you made the jump or not. You just hear this little audio cue, and it's a it's a pleasure to hear, especially when you're trying to make a jump through a door.
Yeah, and if we look at the time right now, we're 18 minutes in, and you got Zoast is about to do Alpha Spark and head up to Beta Power Bombs, and then on his way to Phantoon. Whereas we'll see how much of a lead Zoast is really in, because Sasha Boss will still have to get those Alpha Power Bombs, and and actually Zoast would be just a little bit even more ahead of that even as well because he's already gotten the Kraid missiles, so he's going to have an
Correct.
even bigger lead than it looks like.
Yeah, when he gets back from Meridia, when Zost gets back from Meridia, he'll not have to go back to Kraid's lair to pick up the Kraid missiles. Looks like Zost is going to do a little short charge here. Had a
Does that
little.
count as speed keep kill?
I mean, that's a great question. He definitely did some portions of what I think speed keep is to kind of get into there. Sasha Boss going for the Alpha Spark, very nice, and he's going to make his way up Red Tower here in a second.
You can see, let's see, I wonder if Sasha Boss is going to go up Red Tower the same way Zost did, where he kind of jumped off the wall and froze the enemy and kind of jumped off him, which I think is a really, really cool strat.
Absolutely.
There's
Looks
so
like
many different ways to get up Red Tower in this game, depending on what kind of items you have and just your dexterity as far as your wall jump timing. And, you got that block up there. It's just there's so many different ways to navigate that room.
absolutely. I think that holds true to the entirety of Super Metroid. I think that's why this game is held so high and done by so many
Ocean
runners.
Fly.
Is it lets you? Yes, the Ocean Fly was very nice. It's a beautiful sight to see every time. I think Zos did it with his charged ice plasma wave shot there, which is even more special to see.
It's
But
funny. I didn't even realize I said Ocean Fly out loud. I'm sorry. Carry on.
you should have, sir. Well done. No, it should have been
Nice.
spoken of because it should not be passed by without at least a comment. I'm happy you did. No, but just any the developers of this game and the speedrunners of this game have just noticed that you are able to do many aspects of this game, whatever if you're in Norfair, Meridia, or wherever, you can do so
Wow.
many different things the way you want to,
Did
regardless
you
of.
just see how short of a charge Zoast did for that speedball in a Phantoon?
Did he go off
Holy,
the right side or did he go off the left side of the platform, or was
the,
it?
the right side.
Oh
Like that
wow!
was a
Okay.
super short charge. Like
Uh,
that's got to be about as short a charge as I've seen. Holy
that's
cow!
right on, for sure. I mean, I'm
Zoast is
guessing it was the
task.
stutter.
Somebody says. I
Well, he's
got
been called the Taskmaster before. I think that's not a new one, but definitely one that isn't also false. Nice 2 round from Zoast. Just
we're also
putting
a
that.
week away. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're fine. I was just gonna say putting the ghost with the most, the punk with the elephant trunk down back into whatever realm he came in, uh, and Zeus is
The
out of
ghost with the most
Phantoon.
got beat by the Zoast of the most decorated Super Metroid player of all time.
All right, Sasha Boss getting a nice little fly over the ocean as well. He's going to take off Ice and Spazer, which means he's probably going to go into Phantoon, trying to get some X Factor strats, which will be very nice to see. If you're not familiar with what X Factors are, it's the ability to select your power bombs and charge up a single beam with the charge beam and get a different effect. In this case, it'll be 4 different particles that will hold as much as a super missile for each particle. And hopefully, Sasha Boss will show us a nice demonstration of that soon.
I would like to see that, especially. I mean, you saw Zost with the 2 round Doppler technique, which arguably he's the best at that, or he's extremely consistent. And then to also see an X Factor in the same race, I think is really cool. I like that kind of variety, especially it just showcases the versatility of this game, depending on what a player prefers or what they feel a little bit stronger with.
Absolutely. We'll see what kind of patterns Phantoon gives Sasha Boss. It can give the slow mid or the fast pattern here. Looks like the first pattern is going to be a slow. We'll see what kind of response Sasha Boss has for him. Ooh, barely missed. Oh, but he got a fast. He got a
Yeah,
fast
it's a good. He got
reappear.
a fast
So
invisible.
yeah, looks like he was going for the X Factor, but got missed up by a flame or something like that. So he decided to just kind of pump a couple missiles into Phantoon. Ooh, he missed it again, unfortunately. He's
Now, if I
looking to do it.
recall correctly, you had told us the last race that you're a fan of the X Factors for Phantoon.
Well, I'm a fan of it. It looks great. I've never done one. I started doing
Ooh.
Dopplers just because I figured I was going to get to. Oh, we got 22 health
Yeah, I'm really.
on
Oh, good. He
Sasha
picked up
Boss.
there. I'm hoping he has a good chunk of reserves in there, so he survives his Phantoon fight.
Yeah, it should be. He's got some. Yeah, he's got some
Oh,
reserves, so we should be okay. Ooh, we're on
come
the
on!
two. All right, that's okay. You got Phantoon off of the screen. Come on,
I
let's
don't
get
know
some.
what kind of pattern he'd want here. I know he wants a health
He's
drop.
only getting 5. Okay, there's a couple 20 health
Shoo.
drops there,
Whoa.
and he got a slow. That's unfortunate. They got a slow, but kind of helped Sasha Boss collect a
Come
little
on,
bit of
buddy.
health there.
Oh,
He's gonna
man.
reappear.
Get
There we
him.
go. All right, just a super.
Oh, my gosh. This is
What just
intense.
happened? Okay. All he needs is a super, or I think 2 missiles, and he should be good to go.
It's pretty close. I hope he can hang in there.
I
It
think
gets
he's
just
gonna.
like, oh, he just missile drops.
All
Oh,
right.
thank goodness.
All right.
Whew. I mean,
You're good.
I
You're
feel
good.
so bad for Sasha right now. I think everybody that, has played a great deal of this game has had so many moments like that with Phantoon, and they just, you don't know if you're going to make it out. And,
Absolutely. We've
and,
all
and
had
again,
that.
the RNG is, whether you get a fast mid or a slow, and then you got the drops. I mean, Sasha really could have used some health drops because, I mean, he's got to go into the spiky room of death right now. I think he should
Yep.
farm some of those atomics. They're usually pretty good for a little health drop.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think at the minimum he should. Yeah, I was gonna say at the minimum he should put his reserves in
Okay, he's
because
got to.
even if he's not taking damage in this room in the spiking room of death, if you're taking damage and you don't really mean to get that pause,
He's got to be
once
careful with those platforms. He's got to go really, gingerly through that area.
yeah, we'll see. He's got through here. It's gonna be. Oh, I mean, 142 is okay, depending on his routes through Spiky Room of Death. I think he should be all right. I'm not sure if he's doing deboosts or whatever, but this is okay. I would be a little bit comfortable with 142.
I
But
swear we'll get back to Zoast, but I feel pretty comfortable. Zoast is going to navigate very smoothly here, and I'm just holding my breath. Well, not. I'm just hoping Sasho makes it through Spiky Room of Death, and as soon as he gets that E tank, I'm going to feel a whole lot more comfortable.
yeah, I agree. Okay, he's not farming any of the atomics. Just going straight in. I
Hey,
think
he
it.
has enough health if he doesn't get hit by any of the spikes, or if he
Yeah.
can get a good D boost and not get caught under one of those platforms.
It
I mean,
looks like okay. All right, we're
ooh,
good. Very good. Very good.
all right, all right.
Hopefully he doesn't take a dip in the water. And
So, well, yeah, he still has to avoid those spikes, so it's still a little bit dangerous.
yeah, I was
Kind of
gonna
hoping it's.
talk,
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
then I realized that I don't want to like commentate or curse it, but so I just stopped talking. I just want
Well,
to
I
get
was going to say we
Sasha
could
through this
take a
room.
look at Toast for a minute
Yep.
while
Yeah.
Sasha's working his way through. Oh, God. Oh man.
I'm sorry. Oh goodness. Oh, nice.
Oh
Okay. Yes.
man.
Kill the fish.
Get out
Kill
of
the
there.
fish.
Get out of there. Get out of there. All right, let's just give Sasha some good energy right now. Come on, buddy, you
Yep.
can do this.
Yep. He's all right. One more time.
Whew.
Ooh,
Oh
nice.
my goodness, that was.
Didn't even bomb it.
I didn't think anything could possibly top the Phantoon fight for how intense this race was going to be until just right there. Oh my goodness.
That's all right. We'll make it. If he has to take a recharge at the ship, that's much better than being in this room with 83 health. All right, looks like Zoast is going into the criteria power bombs. Nice little deboost speedball, not speedball, but deboost off of the Morph ball, ready to go into gauntlet. He's got 203 health at the moment. He's going to want more than that for this spark, but I think he'll do his reserves once he does. Yep, once he falls down here, he's gonna pump up some reserves, turn off ice and spazer, and fly on through gauntlet.
He's also very good at getting it right down to the 29 health, right? See, every time right to the 29 health, it's just like it's like a science.
Well,
And
yeah,
Sasha Boss expertly navigated his way through Spiky Room the reverse way and did a really great job getting through there. And while Zos is on to finishing Gauntlet here, we'll get to see Sasha Boss up in the attic, see what his attic strats are.
absolutely. Zost went for the master strat, if you will.
Yeah, that's very aptly put. The master strat.
Yeah,
That second spark in Gauntlet, and I think everybody in chat will know exactly what we're talking about.
luckily, Zost didn't give us a heart attack this time around by jumping through the cover blocks before jumping back up for the missiles. Also, I wanted to mention that Sasha Boss gave us a um, nice little message. I want to call it a message through what we're viewing here because these runners can't talk to us directly. They're too busy being super fast and awesome. But Sasha Boss at the end of the Phantoon fight, we could see his frustration. He chucked about 15 missiles into the wall there just to let us know, man, that fight was bogus. But I'm ready to continue on and get this thing done.
Is that what that was about?
I imagine. I just think
Oh,
it's cool to kind of see the runners' frustrations and celebrations as we sit here and watch them do some awesome stuff.
You know what? I really hope Sasho can recover from this and still put in a really good time that will kind of make him proud in the race. But definitely one of the most exciting sections. I mean, there's been a lot of great moments in this tournament so far, but very few as harrowing as that. I mean, what a save!
Absolutely. Nice little angle down super missile shot to get those missiles for sashoboss. Meanwhile, Zoast working his way to get the power bombs after Edecunes. The long, troubling vertical shaft of everybody's childhood. I think some people who couldn't figure out how to wall jump just had to reset the game and make sure not to go in there.
You know what? I'm very happy that I never played this as a child for that very reason, because by the time I ever got stuck down there, I had already kind of been able to wall jump because I was trying to get wave beam, and I played this game from watching speedruns and stuff. So, I had already gotten to a point where I could wall jump. So it was still a frustrating room, but it wasn't like pull your hair out, I'm never playing this game again kind of frustrating.
Yeah, it's I mean, I admit I was down there for at least an hour or so trying to figure out what's going on. So it's always like the fact that you don't realize. I think intuitively you think you're supposed to hit jump and the other direction at the same time instead of the other direction first before you press jump. Nice Mission Impossible from Zoast. See if he can capitalize on it by, yes, very, very nice, getting into the wave gate E-tank room very nicely without having to go back down.
That's pretty good here, and you have Sasho's in the other side of the attic. After bowling, get his reserve tank over here, and then get the gravity suit, and then we're gonna see him. I got to tell you, if I was Sasho right now, I would for sure save at the ship. Don't, yeah, save at the ship. Don't be very risky. Try to get through this run. Then your reserves will be filled up, your energy will be filled up. You can go through that gauntlet spark without worrying about it, and just try to really have a clean back end of the race.
Just moonwalking on that gravity suit. That is some swag. He shot the door, shot the gravity suit, and then he turned around and just moonwalked back on it, just to do a little swag. And I don't think I've seen that yet.
Samus emotes pretty well for a pixelated character.
Yes.
You can even see, like you said, when he was blowing those missiles off at the door. You can almost give Samus a personality that is pretty unique to runners. I think there's a lot of runners people could tell just by watching 20 minutes, 10 minutes of their run and be like, all right, I recognize that style.
Absolutely. And to remark upon what you were saying before, I think yeah, at 167, it's really not. If sashoboss is going to do the gauntlet spark, it's not possible right now unless they're planning to. Yeah,
Thank you, Sasho.
Yep, yeah. It would be very difficult. You would have stopped halfway through Gauntlet and have to power bomb your way through with like 29 health. It would just be a very scary situation. So I'm very glad sashoboss chose to take the refill at the ship.
I have seen a racer, and I can't remember if it was in this tournament, but I have definitely seen a death going through the gauntlet, not having enough health to make it through the spark, and then getting caught by a yapping maw, and that's all she wrote.
Getting caught by yapping maw and gauntlet is very scary. Not only do you get damage from the yapping maw, but you get damage from the acid as well. It's just a double duper whammy plus tax, and it's not fun at all.
Now, I actually want to mention just really quickly, taking a look at Sasho here, and that harrowing Phantoon fight and the spiky room of death, and then getting up to that E-tank up there and how scary all of that was. Doing this late Crocomire route, you have one less E-tank going there. So the fact that he was able to survive with one less E-tank than somebody who runs, say, an early Croc route, I mean, that just goes to show that this game is really hard, but Sasho is also very skilled.
Absolutely, yeah. No no words to be put against what Sasha is doing here. Is definitely, he's had some close calls as of now, but it is a good showing for sure. Oh, he took very nice recovery by Sasha. He shot all of the blocks out from under him instead of the bottom layer and decided and went to jump and realized, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but he was able to jump back up and get both sets of crumble blocks at the same time and save the run. Because if you don't get everything here, the reroute to go back is minutes worth of extra time on your time, and it's just not fun whatsoever. It's almost, well, it's not almost. If you're running this for a PB, that's a reset. So
I think if you were running this for a PB, I think reset point would have been after the fourth or fifth round of Phantoon that didn't work out.
I guess it depends on your
Is it the
PB,
coach
but
with the most
yes,
resets?
yeah.
So, but right now we have, as sashoboss is heading down into Green Star, we have Zoast. It's business as usual for Zoast, just really slick, really clean strats. We had that nice short spark to get those missiles and Mama Turtle E-Tank and then the wall missiles there. And he's just kind of making his way through Meridia pretty swiftly and going to head up into one of the more awkward areas of the game when you get to that right sand pit and then the sand pit supers, and Sasho,
Oh,
that sucks.
Sasha, I'm
What are we
so
looking at? Like a
sorry.
35, 45-second time loss for that,
Yeah, that
having
that
to go back?
sounds that sounds about right. Yeah. Depending on how quickly you can get through. What they can do is go through something you don't normally see is halfway up this shaft. You can take this little passage here to get back to get another chance at getting that E tank instead of having going all the way up to where the power bombs are and then come back down that one. So it's not too bad, but it is a little unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not as bad as, say, had he missed those missiles at the back end of Gauntlet. I mean, that's probably the largest, rewinds. I mean, between that and like, if you clip through gravity, which is pretty rare, so as far as mistakes like that go, that one's not so bad, but still at least a 35, 45-second time loss.
Agreed. Yeah, it's I think that I
Oh,
think
Zoast. Wow.
oh
Did you
right
see that
right
mock
through.
ball?
Yeah, mock ball
That I
through.
think that is the hardest mock ball in the game. A lot of people think it's coming into the super room from the reserve tank room in Green Brinstar. I think that mock ball that Zost just did is by far the hardest mock ball in the game.
Absolutely. And to touch on a little bit what we were talking about before, the fact that Sasha missed the E tank and then was able to kind of double back and go get it is one thing, right? You can lose some time because you have to reroute, but I think the most time you'll ever lose is the time you lose spending more time inside your head. Because when you're in a race setting like this and you do something that seems like a big mistake, the best thing you can do is not panic and just keep going on with exactly the game plan you had before, so that it doesn't continue into the snowball effect where you just keep messing up over and over. Sasha, unfortunately, not putting that power bomb as far left, so he's gonna have to place another one to get into a Mission Impossible room.
Well, back to what you were saying about kind of clearing your head, and all that. You have kinesthetic retention. They call that muscle memory. And when you get flustered, just like if you were an athlete, you have to sit there and say, "All right, I know how to do this. I just need to kind of clear my head a little bit, relax, and kind of get back to it, and just yeah."
Absolutely, muscle memory is key. Is if you're gonna be as high as these runners are, muscle memory needs to be your best friend that you didn't know was there, and it saves you in so many different situations. So we're gonna see Zos take on the Dragon, the shrimp. Looks like he's going for the X Factor setup. Very
Yep,
nice.
and if he gets a good pattern here, Dragon is going to be down very quickly, and I think that was the good
Yep.
pattern. And
Oh, okay.
oh,
Looks like a 2 round. Oh, there. Oh, but did not get the blue suit for some reason. That was interesting.
I still feel pretty confident that he's going to get it right. He's going to get it right there. Come on.
Ooh, did
Oh,
not get the spike suit. Interesting. He had about 4 tries there. Something.
But look at how long he held that spark, and again, that's just that composure that, Zoast is known for. I mean, he knows how long he's got before he can, do that spark into Dragon. He didn't abandon the plan. Dragon wasn't there when he needed her to be, and then he waited a little bit. I think I would have blew that spark.
Yeah, no, the fact that he tried both the top and the bottom turrets both times was just impressive in and of itself. And as somebody in chat said, and I don't know how to appropriately this, but maybe he is born with it, or maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. But I thought it made me laugh, so I thought is Zoast even human? Yeah, it looks like that in his webcam, but we'll have to. The jury's still out. We'll see.
It's really interesting. I mean, the way Zoast has his camera set up, and I think if you watch on his stream, you can see, doesn't he have a camera usually on his hands, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the top runners do, and it's actually very helpful for runners like you and I who kind of watch these top guys to figure out what kind of strats, just see what the best is doing. It's very helpful to have that camera there, especially in rooms that we'll see coming forward, like the Metroid room 3. That is a insane room that takes a lot of finger work, and I watched Zenny do it one time with his cam, and it just really enlightened me on how to get that done. So really, really helpful stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of those strats, the top runners will use like a piano grip, similar to like on a keyboard, a piano. I don't know. I can only do my jump height properly with my thumb.
Gotcha.
I can't use any other finger. I was just setting up the ice clip. I didn't want to miss that part.
Makes it look easy.
Yeah, he even actually looked like he messed up the setup a little bit. Like he kind of zigged when he should have zagged, but still got the ice clip. I mean, wow.
Yep. And everybody's favorite robot Shack Tools working his way through this solidified sand diamond mixture, whatever it is that Samus can't get through with all her weaponry, and Shack Tool makes it look easy. She's just waiting.
Shack Tool is the real MVP. He enables you to get Spring Ball, which is arguably the coolest item in the game. Some people say it's the best. I don't know if it's the best, but that's because I'm not super stellar at Spring Ball strats, but seriously the coolest.
Absolutely. I want to see what happens if Shack Tool were to take on Mother Brain 3. Like, well, obviously Samus can't bust open the wall there, but Shack Tool can. So I want to see what Shack Tool can do to Mother Brain. I don't know if that's been talked about yet, but we need to get on that. Anyway, Zoast coming back from Shack Tool, grabbing that spring ball, and then Sasha making their way.
Oh, do not make Mama Turtle upset.
Oh yes, Mama Turtle, also one of the many bosses you don't want to mess with in this game.
Nice short spark. Wow.
It's gonna make it to the E-Tank? Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was good. He's done this before. That's a scary moment because he's got to come back, and if you've ever gone there, Mama Turtle hits like a tank.
Yeah, Mama Turtle's no joke. She's got a lot of turtles to take care of, and
she don't want you near them. Yeah, I got to tell you, this has turned into a very, very exciting match so far. I'm getting really excited to see how the latter half of this race is going to go. So we're just about 45 minutes in. Zoast has his plasma beam. Sashoboss is getting his Crab supers. Crab decided he didn't want to let him in, but he really has no choice. Samus is persistent.
Zoast pulling off, I don't know if it is a new strat or a Hobarudi recently invented strat, but getting out of that plasma room. I've seen what Zoast just did in a couple of videos recently posted in the SRL chat about how to get that through that room quicker, and seems like Zoast implemented some of that tech into what he just did. Missed a moonfall on the way out, but it was really impressive stuff.
It's so amazing that even a game from 1994, so we're talking just about 26 years ago, And as much as it's been explored, there's still so many new strats out there. I mean, I don't know if any run has been as optimized as, say, Behemoth's Hundo or Zoast's any percent. Um, but there's still new optimizations being found. There's still new ways to go around things. There's so many different runners and personalities and ideas and different ways to look at a room. It's always cool when some new strats or new tech come out.
Absolutely, man. If you look at the sum of best on Zennies or Behemoths or whatever, um their sum of best on their splits is still like a fair minute and some change faster than their PB. There's still a lot of room. Obviously that's a super perfect run, but at the same time, there's as you said, some things are still being optimized and discovered in order to get just those precious frames. Zo's doing a nice little turn into the sand pit here. Little fast one. It's going down to get the left sand pit items, the reserve tank, and the missiles.
Those are very, very interesting places to put items, but I got to tell you that
It
pretty
was that
easy to miss
100.
one side.
We needed the 100, Kev. All right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
We
it's
needed the
another one of those
100
secret
items.
areas.
They were like, well,
That's
we
actually
have this right sand pit. Why don't we just make a left one so we can get two
uh,
more items in there?
that's for symmetry. If there's an east, there has to be a west. It's good symmetry. Double D
Uh,
boost from Zoast
Beautiful.
coming out of that area. I did want to say when you were talking about sum of bests. Now that's a really interesting thing to talk about, like how the racers time their runs and how they. I would say something like that. Like if okay, my PB is this, my sum of bests say that I can be this. So you really believe that it's a possibility to keep pushing your time lower because you have this section of the game. If you run it optimally, you're going to get this time. If this section of the game you run optimally, you're going to get this time. I think that's a really good motivating factor.
Yeah, it can be. It's a kind of a double-edged sword because it tells you, hey, essentially you are this good because you've done all of these sections this well. Wow, really, really great section for Zoast right there. It is hard to freeze and destroy all of those enemies without getting bonked, whether it's by an enemy that you get hit
Yeah,
by or an enemy you freeze. It's difficult to get through that section without getting bonked. So really, really good show.
and make sure you do not arm pump while you are running down through that room because you'll just go flying. Nice spring ball strat.
Yep, absolutely. Sasha looking to get some payback coming into Dragon. I don't know what the payback is for. Maybe he owes him money. I'm not sure. But this is the first time we've seen Sasha go into Dragon here, and he's going to handle business.
I'll be interested to see what kind of strategy he's going to use. I would expect, if he used X factors on Phantoon, I would expect him to go with the X Factor opening here. It doesn't look like he's going for the Moon Dance X Factor strat.
Yeah, Rain Dance is.
Or Rain Dance, I'm sorry.
No worries. It's a couple different names. Oh, Zoast going for the Plower House Junior strat. I've seen him do that before. That was a Kip invented strat. Very nicely done. I hope sashoboss got a little tick off of Dragon's head there.
His health, we got to, hopefully there's
There
no
we
chain
go.
damage. Good. He avoided chain damage. He survived. Blue suit. Good job.
Absolutely. Looks like he's going to keep the blue suit and not go for the spike suit and risking losing the blue suit. That's all right if that's what you're comfortable with. I've gone for the spike suit a couple times and hit the bad frame, and all of a sudden I don't have a spike suit and I don't have a blue suit, and I have to hope to get the wample jump. So he wants to keep the blue suit. I'm good with that decision.
I usually get to about here and then I run through that door and blow the blue suit because I'm just like, come on now. I lost.
Oh, it looks like sashoboss. Oh, he went to activate the shine spark and it didn't happen for some reason. So he ran, and because he ran, it got rid of the blue suit. That is rough stuff.
Well, let's see. Let's see how he makes his way through the rest of the Meridia. He's, you know, definitely has cleaned up his game, I think, since the wrecked ship. And Zoast has already gotten past GT, and he's just going to make his way through here, fast pillars or not.
I don't know. A bunch of people are claiming the commentator curse here. I don't know if that was me or what, but either way, I greatly apologize.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to think that the commentator curse is a real thing. Especially, this is my second match commentating, and I think that's happened
Yeah,
to me.
no,
A
it was
couple
you
times in
last
the
time, sir. Yeah. I
Oh no!
guess it's my turn.
Still, keeping things exciting. Zo's leaving the mouse missiles. He's not falling down below, which we would not expect him to do. Which is good
That's
because
a
that's
scary jump.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got this room full of acid. This is the amphitheater.
Yep,
Room
and
that Zoast is in.
Zeus gets a jump through the left side of the platform with the pirate on there. That's I don't know, maybe that's something that's more common, but I usually don't. I get the platform to the right, so that's some pristine wall jumping stuff there.
Well, that's the other thing too. When you get a lot of Sasho missed the ice clip. You get a lot of personality, a lot of people's own style when you see how they decide to navigate through the room. You know, whether they want to use this ledge or they want to use that ledge, and you know, depending on how many categories you run, you might actually do a different strat in that room depending on what you have. Whether you're doing a low percent run or if you're doing a randomizer and you don't have the normal items. You know, just different ways to get through.
Yep. Sasha showing a little bit of frustration, shooting a couple missiles into the wall. We'll see if he can get in with this Puyo clip. That actually looks like a good spot for the Puyo there. Just needs to see if they can get the clip. Okay, it's not going to try it. Going to reset.
I hope he gets it. I can definitely, I understand that this is a very difficult strat. It's got a very specific setup. You know, you got to hit the D-boost right there. You know, get up on there, get a little D-boost, and that gives you time to freeze the Puyo in the right frame. And it's a frame perfect trick, right?
I actually don't know. I know there's you know a set amount of distance you need to be as far as making the clip there, but I'm not sure if it's frame perfect. I'm sure chat will let us know, but we'll see. Oh, there we
he
go.
goes. All right. So
Very
now,
nice.
I believe optimally this route is not a significant time save versus going to Croc early if you miss the ice clip. I think, is it optimally? It's 20 seconds, 40 seconds difference in the routes.
The last time I heard it was 20 seconds, but I'm sure if we're
and that's
we're
optimal.
mistaken about that. Right. So, well, you know, if anything, sashoboss, you know, broke.
All right, so sashoboss about to get his spring ball, and Zoast is working his way back from Ridley. Speedball going to go back up into that key hunter room, and then work his way to back to Bubble Mountain so he can get some of the items that we have there. Oh, Hodorubi missiles first.
Gotta get them. Don't forget. Sasha in chat, just a little bit, a couple of remarks. Sasha, we're here with you. Keep going. Let's finish this out. Every now and then I hit too many fireflies coming out of the firefly E-tank room, and I end up running through that room in complete darkness. Oh. Zoast went for the Hodarubi special and almost had it, but just barely missed the missiles.
Let's see, and then we have sashoboss is heading to plasma. Let's see. All right, I always think those the Hodarubi missiles, those are very, very, or at least that's the only name I know that room is. It's very easy missiles to miss, and those power bombs that you get right after. I mean, I have gotten a couple 98% missing those items, and Sasho Boss is really far behind, but Zoast still has to make sure he gets all 100 items if he's going to win this race.
Absolutely. You can't hear me, right, Kev?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay,
yes.
cool. My internet cut out for like a half a
Trouble.
second, and I didn't realize what was going on. Yeah, so there's a lot of sections that can kind of turn the tides in a Hyundai race. Obviously, one of the most prevalent ones is the stand-up glitch. If not done properly, it can hold you up a lot and potentially turn the tides of the race. Zoast with a very nice deboost in Upper Norfair to get over to the room he's in now. I don't know what that one is called, but he's going over to get the Norfair Reserve and the missiles here.
Reserve.
There you go. Grabbing those missiles, freezing those little horse, those evil.
I can call them dragons. I'll say dragons.
Yeah, they look like little horsias. But I'm okay with dragons.
A buddy of mine had mentioned earlier that I need to learn the names of the enemies, and Matt, I completely. I know a lot about the rooms and the strats and a little bit here and there, but I definitely have to learn the enemy names for this game.
I have nicknames for all of them, and they work for me.
They're all frogs, right?
Sure, why not? Let's call them all frogs. Wow, nice little like wall jump to get past the enemy for Zoast there instead of shooting him or going screw attacking. Oh, it looks like he's gonna get he's gonna get the D boost off of this little enemy he knocked off of the wall with the super missile. Very swaggy, very fast. I like it. It's going into Croc to teach him a lesson.
Now, how many shots are we gonna get on Croc? I mean, we would expect one, but it can be two.
Nope, just one. That is all the Croc emotes in chat going on right now. Hats off to Croc. You had a good fight. Sort of, not really. It was just one shot. But hey, some people don't even think of you as a boss. They think of you as just the little dog of Super Metroid. And
I love that.
You have to die.
Well, from what I have heard, and I can't remember who said this, but if you go into Croc's room and you just stand there, he won't do anything until you open fire first.
Correct. That is something that somebody has tested, yeah. And the only unfortunate part is if you don't want to destroy the Crocinator, then you'll never get all the items in the game. So it's a sad day.
Croc has to be sacrificed for the better good of humanity. Sorry, Croc.
He knew the job. He knew what was going on.
And Croc is sitting there guarding. Again, and arguably one of the coolest items in the game, which is the grapple beam, which I didn't really think the grapple beam was all that great because of how difficult it can be used, to start learning how to use it. But when you start trying to do other things like RBO or some other categories or randomizer, if you're doing suitless Meridia, you need that grapple beam. There's so many cool strats you can do in there. And also Indiana Jones, if we're fortunate enough to see that. That is a really killer grapple beam strat we get to see right away.
Absolutely.
You know what? We won't see Indiana Jones because he has space jump.
Space jump and screw attack. Yep.
Yeah.
Grapple beam is the beam you never knew you needed, but potentially deserved.
Man, it's also really great for farming. Farming.
Oh,
See, just like Zoast did, when something's really far away, I'm just gonna snatch it out of the air. How awesome!
there's a really neat strat in the Metroid Room 2 where you can use grapple to, especially in Hundo, to collect some items off of the first Metroid that you shoot. So if we see it, I'll kind of mark that out. It's really
Sounds
nice.
good.
Yeah, and
I
grapple
actually saw.
also.
I was going to say earlier today, I was watching one of the other tournament races, and again, I can't remember who I was watching, but they used a grapple deboost to get out of the to go back to knock themselves into the spiky room of death, going back out. They just used the grapple to deboost off one of those sparks, and I didn't even know that was a utility for the grapple beam.
For sure. Zoast deciding that platform was really not worthy of his time, deciding to spark into it and teach it a lesson. And I agree that grapple is just very useful. One of the things that people may or may not know is that grapple beam is actually faster than a regular beam. So when you go to get grapple beam, if you want to run out of that room afterwards, and you shoot as soon as you start running with a regular beam, you'll bonk the door. But if you shoot with a grapple beam, you won't bonk the door. It's just a little bit faster than a regular beam. So that's
Just
very useful.
another cool optimization in this game that you can do with the grapple beam is super, just very multi-purpose, and it's also, you can kind of, when you're trying to get a door, you have to hold down the shoot button in order to make your beam long enough to get the door. Because I tell you, I've tried to do that strat a bunch of times, and I don't hold shoot long enough, and I just shoot out this little tiny beam, and it doesn't get the job done.
Yeah. Just a note as well, Zoast is going through exploit right now. He would normally be using the spike suit or the spark suit, however you want to decide it, to get through this room instead of the space jump method. But in Upper Norfair, he accidentally used that spark and bonked the ceiling of one of the platforms there. It's really difficult to hold a spark suit through that many rooms. There's a bunch of ways you can mess it up, and it's just a difficult thing all around.
Sashoboss getting ready to fight GT. I think this next room that Sasho is going into is definitely a top awkward room to get through. When you have the flames coming out of the ground, you have the enemies swooping down, just trying to get through there really fast without wasting a lot of time. Yeah, this room that Sasho's going into right now, I think, is one of the most awkward rooms in the game, and wow, boy, he handled that like a pro.
Yeah, that strat I've seen many times. I still have not been able to
I'm stealing that
pull it
strat,
off
by the way.
myself, but I haven't practiced it too much. There's really two methods to getting over to GT missiles. One is the space jump, and two is the spring ball buffered jump, which is foolproof.
Whoa.
Yeah. Here comes GT, as we'll see him come and go.
That's a great way to put it. Especially if you find that, that right where Sasho is, GT can't hit you at all, and yep, there he goes, just like that. One of the easiest fights in the game if you know what's coming.
Yeah, if you can stand in the perfect spot there, GT can't hit you. As much as it or he or she or they, I don't know what GT is, will try. They're gonna just be gone in I think about 8 shots.
Yeah, something like that. Because if you crouch down, it double hits. I got to tell you, GT, I always thought GT was a pushover until I did RBO for the first time, and I actually made it to GT, and I've gotten past GT and trying to get him with supers and all that, and he'll just catch a couple, throw one right back at you. It's just like, oh man, okay, so not a pushover unless you have the right tools.
Yeah,
gives you all the tools.
Oh yeah, it really opens your eyes, especially on your kind of first playthrough or your casual playthrough. You went through Bomb Terizo and he was kind of a pushover, and you're like get to Golden Terizo and you're like, oh, I know this guy. This guy is nothing. And then all of a sudden he's catching your super missiles and throwing it back at you. And midway through the fight, you have to realize, okay, this is a different story. I have to adapt what I'm doing here. It's just a really really great combat design.
Well, not only that, I mean, that game design is brilliant, but if you don't know that you can push GT into the corner when you confront GT and they're going all around the room and you're trying to kill this thing, I can imagine a lot of resets there.
Absolutely.
Go back to a save point, which, by the way, I don't know if Sasho did save at the ship, but we generally don't. You don't generally don't see a lot of saves at all in tournament races, except for perhaps an RBO or some of the more volatile categories like GT Classic. But typically, you don't see a lot of saves at any percent or hundo. Racers just kind of go for it, and Sasho's about to go for it down in Ridley after he picks up these power bombs over here. Zoast is going to make his way to 230 missiles, and he's right next door to G4.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think saves. We've seen time and time again where saves have won a race, but you have to kind of juggle that thing in your head, because the more saves you take, the more time you waste, and I'm not sure at the point that sashoboss got to the ship that a save was probably in his mind as far as what do I need to do at this point to have a chance to beat Zoast. I think if there's going to be a save, it's going to be at Mother Brain, right before Mother Brain, just in case there's a soft lock at the stand-up glitch or something like that. But otherwise, I wouldn't expect to see any saves.
I mean, if I was this far ahead, I mean, this is going to have no bearing on any future race Zoast does. If he, when he takes the win here. But I mean, I would save. There's no reason not to. Probably not going to soft lock at Mother Brain, but it's not the last match of the tournament. It's not the final round. It's okay to be a little bit safe if you have such a significant lead. What pace do you
Absolutely.
think Zoast is on? Are we looking at a 115 pace or?
It could be. I would say potentially. This is 108. I would think 114. But I might be miscalculating that incorrectly. We'll have to see with the stand-up glitch. I don't know. We'll see. Is that 108 right now? It generally takes me in a non. Yeah,
Well,
114 is what chat's saying. That's what I think is going on here. So we'll see. Nice little moonfall into Torian. Why not just moonfall into Torian? You're going in there one time. You know what I mean? You got a little swag it up. You gotta just say, hey.
couple frames saved, and that's the other incredible thing is that these guys are always pushing the boundaries of how low you can push this time, even in a race when he doesn't need to do that moonfall. He's so far ahead. He doesn't need to do those strats. He doesn't need to use the optimal strategies like that kill in Metroid Room 2. That just doing that optimally, he could play it a little bit safer, but he knows he has tougher opponents to face. I mean, are we going to see Zoast go up against Zenny? Are we going to see Zoast go up against Behemoth? Are we going to see, who's Hodarubi going to go up against next? There's, a real cutie. There's just so many amazing racers here, and, we're getting to the point that it's getting closer and closer that the top tier runners are going to be facing each other, and it's going to be interesting to see who. And, Oates is still there too. Who's going to be facing Oates? This is going to be it's going to be a phenomenal next few weeks here.
I could not predict. I mean, I could predict, but I wouldn't. I mean, all these runners are having really good times. A couple of them have been practicing hundo. Zenny and Oates have been practicing hundo, and Zoast to a certain extent. I guess Hodarubi as well. I mean, like, it's just going to be really a exciting. Like, I couldn't I could try to predict, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna wait and see exactly what is gonna happen for the final four. If you guys don't know, as far as the bracket goes, this is the round three. There's only 5 rounds of this tournament, so this match is in the round three match, and after this is round four, and then round five is not just 2 runners. It's a four-way runner race to decide the winner, which is going to be super exciting and a very awesome thing to see. So we'll see how it goes from there. Mother Brain
I
one,
think
Mother Brain two coming up.
I think I would rather see that with a category that has so many different strats as Hundo, and then the expected racers that we could see in that final four. I think it makes it. I think it makes it a more exciting finale to have a four-way race as opposed to a two-way race. Not that a two-way race isn't very exciting, and but just with the, I can't wait to see it. I think that's going to be amazing. Did you see how Zoast blew that meatball apart? Holy cow! He just threw a little bomb down there. His attention to detail is out of control.
Yeah, his Mother Brain fights are very technical. He does exactly what he wants to do most of the time. He's got a take another little 100 energy down there. Mother Brain is screaming, which means the next rainbow beam that comes out, it's going to have the baby next to it. This is the stand-up glitch for anybody who hasn't seen it. It is the ability to keep Samus mobile and able to shoot while this cutscene is going on. Normally, Samus would be on the floor in kind of an exhausted animation, not being able to move or shoot. But this little glitch allows you to be able to shoot. And while this cutscene is going on, as you can see, Zoast is still able to pump some nice plasma wave ice charge shots into Mother Brain 3's face and make it so that when the Mother Brain 3 phase finally starts, you only need a couple of shots of the Hydro Beam to take Mother Brain down.
So how many shots do you think it's going to be? I think in the last race we saw Zoast, he had a good stand up and ended up with about 4 plasma or 4 hyper beam shots.
So far, I think that's on track for about 3. He moved to the right so that the Metroid would start the little animation of going into Mother Brain's head a little bit faster. But I'm guessing 3. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was
Okay,
great
4.
right there.
All right, 4 shots.
Do you see how close he come? Now you can soft lock or lose significant time if you're activating the plasma beam while it changes over to hyper beam, and I didn't even notice if it's a pause. Like that was pretty quick.
Yeah, there's if the charged plasma shot is on screen while you are granted the hyper beam, the game will slow to a beyond snail's pace frame rate until that beam leaves the screen. Oh, blue bomber by Zoast. Very, very nice, very fancy. Only saves a little bit of time, but is lovely to see.
Well, if you don't have to worry about that spark crash animation, you save a couple frames and you get out of there just a little bit faster.
Absolutely. It's working its way out of the planet. It's exploding. We gotta go. No time to waste, except for if you want to save the animals. But I doubt that Zoast is going to have a hard tonight.
How close is this going to be to Zoast PB? I think did somebody say earlier 114.20 was his PB?
Let's see. As far as Deer
close.
Tier goes, 114.25, but I feel like that may need to be. Boom.
Wow, 114.
And there we go. Zoast has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1:14:35. GG Zoast has also improved their personal race best by 1 minute and 7 seconds. Holy cow.
We got confirmation from EOD Tex on chat says that Zoast has a 1:14:20 PB, so only 14 seconds off his PB. Talk about remarkable consistency, and in a race, nonetheless, the ability is tremendous.
Absolutely. Really showing the uh the Zoast magic here. That's a great time, especially in a race.
I
And
mean, Zoast he's playing to win. If you think about it, his main competitors are just below him in the rankings is Oats and Goats, and then just ahead of him is Zenny and Behemoth. At this point, those four are so close in time that if we could potentially see those four as our final four racers. And I mean, how incredible would that be with their PBs so close? And I mean, really anything can happen in a race situation. You may have the best PB, but maybe you get bad Phantoon RNG. You may have a solid shot, but maybe something unfortunate happens, like clipping through gravity suit, or everybody just runs optimally, and gosh, it could be really tight.
absolutely. Um, yeah,
I
I
believe
think
Behemoth does have the best time in the tournament. Somebody in chat had asked about that. Do you have your spreadsheet pulled up? I can retrieve mine.
yeah, I've got let's see here if we can figure that out. Um, yeah, it's a lot of times. I'm not sure if it shows. I've got the bracket up here. And to note, I guess sashoboss and Zoast's match was tonight. The winner of this match will face the winner of the Sloaters 27 and Aussie 101 match, which should be an excellent display. Those two runners are also an excellent set of caliber. They're really good Super Metroid runners, so I'm excited to see that race.
Slaughter
Zoast
is a
will.
top racer in just about every category, I believe.
Yeah, he has a lot of records for sure. Obviously, the record holder for 100% is Behemoth 87, and then Zenny is right behind Behemoth. But I think obviously Zoast shows a bunch of prowess in a bunch of different categories, and I would never count him out for anything. So seeing Zoast against Slotus 27 or Aussie, depending on who wins that race, is just going to be a treat for sure. Both the Sloters and Aussie is an amazing setup. I wouldn't count either of those runners out either.
Uh,
So
Zost faced both of those racers during the multi-category tournament, if I am correct.
for sure, I'm not sure what category they went head to head against, but ooh,
I would say that Asi is a really strong runner, and he has a better, reverse boss order time than Zost. Not that that has any bearing on 100%, but just to give you an idea of, what a top racer he is. And I think Sloters is, I think he's in the top 10 in several categories, possibly. I know he's a very, very strong runner.
yeah, I've seen both of them do a lot of amazing things. Sans category, they've every time I've seen them do something different, they've just done it. Their movement is pristine and really ready to compete. Even at a level against those, I think they'll put on a great show and be in the running to win, depending on how that race goes. Um, so we
So also to
have.
close out the week, we have Azuli Knot and Oats and Goats. They're going to
Yeah.
race on Friday, and Cutie and Hero 82 are also going to race on Friday. Then Saturday we have Nin Toaster and Hoda Ruby.
Yeah,
And
I
did
think.
you mention the Zenny and Zeb match?
Yep, Zenny Zeb. Like I'm looking at this round three, and I don't see a matchup that's just completely one sided. As I said before, to even qualify for this tournament, you had to really bring your top guns to your qualifier time. So I think it's really anybody's game in any of these matches could be. And so, yes, Zenny and Zeb, Hoda Ruby and Toaster is going to be great. Slotus and Asa, we already talked about. Fuzda against Behemoth. Um, Kip and Mr. Guy Average already had their race for round 3, and if you haven't seen that race, please go and watch the VOD. It was amazing, down to the wire entertainment. And then yes, Oats and Goats, great runner. I think he's as far as deer tick goes, he's in 4th, right behind Zoast. Oats is a great runner. And so yeah, just a great Super Metroid all around, ready to go. This tournament is kicking.
Yep, we still have a little bit left here. We have Blue Brinstar clean up for Sasho, and he's going to head his way out to Old Mother Brain and get those missiles down there and make his way to the climb supers and then 230 missiles. Zoast got his 100% confirmed, so super great match there. And let's see how Sasho can finish out, and let's see what his final time is going to be today.
And as we've already seen, a confirmation on 100% for Zoast. No disqualification here. All items were picked up, and I assume we will see the same for Sasha. I don't think we've seen him miss anything.
No, I did not happen to notice that he missed any items, you know, and I know that he's probably not feeling too great about a run like this. I mean, it's hard when you had such a difficult Phantoon, such a tough wreck ship, and that can definitely throw you for a loop when you try to go and finish the rest of the race. But I admire the perseverance. I admire wanting to finish the run regardless of how it went. You always like to see a run completed. I mean, I personally prefer no resets, especially if I'm considering to continue to race. See if I can save a little bit of time here, see if I can save a little time there. I want to know what kind of a person I am. Can I come back from a disastrous performance and still have a couple good rooms? Can I nail the stand-up glitch? Can I finish this game even under these conditions?
Indeed. I concur on all points. Let's see if sashoboss can grab this spark through Old Mother Brain. This one's, if you're starting out, a little bit tricky because you got to make sure you're at the right height in order to spark all the way across here.
I got a funny issue with sparks. I'm actually pretty good at doing sparks like that because I can only spark when I jump. I don't know why. Sparking from standing confuses me completely. And I know like a lot of people have the opposite problem. Like, oh no, the air spark's pretty hard, but I cannot spark from just standing, which causes me to miss a couple gauntlet sparks here and there because sometimes I jump a little too high before I shoot it off.
Yep, it's a funny little thing. I had to recognize that as long as I held B on the ground, or sorry, held jump on the ground, and everybody's controller scheme is a little bit different. But if I held jump on the ground and in the middle of the jump animation pressed left or right, it would spark. But it took me a while to kind of get to that point. So I definitely understand. Going to get the 230 missiles right now.
We got the 230 missiles, and now it's on the way to G4, where hopefully we can see a really nice Turian. So when you do Turian Papish mode, do you have different Turian strats based on what category you're doing?
Absolutely.
Like, for instance, I don't always do grouping strats in Hundo because if I had, I turn my screw attack off a little bit later when I get down closer to the Zeb skip. And sometimes it's tough to do an efficient grouping strats when you have spark attack or screw attack because the Metroids will kind of bounce off of you. So I tend to go for just plasma and supers, and try to do a fast version of that. And then what was I going to say after that? Oh yeah, and then when I do any percent, I like to do grouping strats because I don't pick up screw attack, and you can pick up the Metroids and have them clean you pretty easily.
Yeah, I definitely do that. I think at some points it makes sense to do that because depending on what your resources are, if your health is not optimal, you're not going to want to go for grouping strats. But you might not have the ammo to kind of hit each one individually with each super and stuff like that. So it definitely depends. I definitely take a gander at what I have at this point, where the Golden Force statue is kind of dropping down to see what I have before I decide what I'm going to do.
Well, yeah, if you happen to enter Turian pretty low on supers, you might want to use an alternative strat. But then again, you also have plenty of missiles. This is one of the safest categories. In any percent, when you get in Turian, it's really, really important to conserve your super missiles. But in Hundo, when you have so many missiles, it's highly unlikely that you're going to use so much ammo that you're going to have to worry about conserving supers. So, I would say go with whatever strat you're feeling most comfortable with. And again, like you said, with whatever items you have.
Absolutely. I think whether it was a race we were commentating on or another one I was watching, I can't remember. Somebody ended up in Hundo with like 3 supers or something like that. Or maybe it was a different, I don't remember, but it was a very odd number of supers. And so there was a little bit of a different scenario for them, even though they had a lot of missiles. It was just taking a lot longer to churn through Mother Brain 1 with, like 60 missiles or whatever it was going to take. Going up here against the baby skip action.
So I got to ask you, have you ever played this game and beaten
I
it
have
without
played this game,
speedrunner
yeah.
strats? Like, yeah, beating it with like without speedrunner strats, like you use missiles on all the Zebes and and supers, and like I think the first time I fought Mother Brain, I was using missiles. I got to Mother Brain 2, and I'm using missiles, and I'm like, gosh, I'm pumping this brain full of like 100 missiles, and she's still coming at me with a vengeance. Like, holy cow, how do you kill this thing? Before I knew you had to use, charged plasma was the quickest way. I'm like, why was I using all those missiles?
Oh, absolutely. Very, very nice baby skip by sashoboss. But yes, I did missiles on the Zebs for sure. Now, if you asked me in a casual playthrough, like ever again, would I ever do that? Like after having the knowledge, we're gonna have to reset the room for Sasha Boss on the Zeb skip, which is something you just have to do sometimes. It's
Is he going to do a speed skip? Is he going to try a short charge?
oh, look at that. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice.
Oh, that
Oh,
is.
oh, 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 oh,
Oh
oh,
man, oh
oh.
man. Oh,
Yes.
that was cool. You very rarely get a chance to see that. I mean,
Okay,
in a
so
low
does the
percent
gauntlet.
run, you could see that. Maybe in a randomizer, you're going to see that, but definitely did not expect to see an attempt at a speed, you know, that kind of a Zeb skip. That was pretty neat effort there.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely an interesting amount. I mean, if you're used to doing the Zeb skip and randomizers of different stuff, I think if you hit the bottom right section of that room with 78 missiles, I think you automatically win. So that's probably what Sasha Boss was going for right there. But if you don't do it before Mother Brain starts her sequence, then it's a no-go. But great attempt by Sasha Boss.
So it looks like Zoast on our other screen is going back to the grind,
Mhm.
always practicing. I think he's definitely in it to win, and Sasho Boss is getting ready for his stand-up glitch, and I think he's performed admirably, and definitely one of the most harrowing moments in any part of the tournament so far. That Phantoon fight and navigating through Rex ship and surviving that, just beyond impressive. All right, so he's a
Absolutely.
little bit low on health, so hopefully, nothing happens here. I know when I've tried stand up before, I bounced off that wall and unintentionally bounced into Mother Brain, and anything can happen when you do stand up. It's pretty free in Hundo compared to say stand up in GT Classic. It's pretty free in Hundo, but still potential for soft lock. He still could get a little too close and, get his health knocked down.
Yeah, the one thing you'll see here is that if Sashoboss or Zoast or anyone is touching the ground when the baby Metroid lets go of Mother Brain's head, Samus will be stuck in the ground because it's trying to force you into that kneeling animation that you were supposed to be in the first place. But as long as you're off the ground when that happens, you're good to go. Sasha Boss also taking a little damage from Mother Brain 3, which is smart. It kind of
You can get more shots in, right? Because if it takes
yes.
longer for the brain to fill your health, you can get a couple extra shots in.
Yeah, if it takes longer for the health to fill for you, then yeah, you get more time to put a couple of plasma beam shots into the eye, nose, or whatever Mother Brain has right there. And so, oh, it's looking real red. It should only take one shot. Yep, there we go. One shot for Sasha
So
Boss.
that was actually a stronger stand up than we saw from Zoast.
Potentially
Sasha just beat what's he getting, about a 130, maybe a high 130, maybe a low 133. I don't know, how long does the escape take?
I'd say probably under almost a minute. I'm not
Is that
qualified to
timer
comment on
real
that.
time?
No, as well, yes, I would say for me anyway.
So I guess I'm
I,
normally on the ship at about, somewhere, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, 2 minute, something like that
2 minutes.
left on the
Okay, well
clock,
then maybe I'm completely off
or maybe
base.
2 minutes left on the clock. I
As
don't know.
far as
Maybe it's
what
a
that
minute.
means. No, I'm sure. Chat
Escape is around
will
110, Asger is saying, and
yeah.
I would trust what he says for sure.
Thanks, Asder. We're glad you're here, man. Oh, got a little bonk.
Oh man.
Is gonna do a little safe spark.
Yep, that second
We have
spark
a
attempt. I think we've all been there.
yeah, we have a please save the pets from Dragon in chat. We'll see if Sasha obliges. I'm gonna predict that's not gonna happen.
Well,
Oh, maybe he heard us.
get
Oh,
on down there. No, oh man, the taunt. I got to tell you, man, I always
the tiny taunt, the
not the full
little.
taunt. A little high five from Zoe starting
I
this next
like
round
it.
there.
I like it. Yeah. Oh, a high five, a double run high five. Oh, are you serious? Are
we
you?
going back? That is
Is
the
this the ultimate
ultra taunt.
untaunt? The ultimate untaunt
I'm
goes
in.
to the ship. Says,
I am
"Hey,
in favor of this move, and I'll
yeah,
tell you
you
why.
thought you were a thing." Oh my
I
goodness, what is he gonna do? Gets to the
I always
pixel.
punish myself by saving the
Gets to the
animals when I've had a
pixel.
crazy run.
My goodness. He's taking us for a roller coaster ride on emotions. I don't know if I can take it. Sasha Boss, you may have lost, but you've won in my heart, and I cannot understand all of the feelings I'm having. GG, sir. Get to the ship, get yourself off this planet, and let's have an interview.
Oh man,
There it is. We have an official second place
ships
SRL
ahoy!
time of 1 hour and 33 minutes and 49 seconds. GG,
You know,
Sasha
I
Boss.
I know it was a rough match, GG Sasho, but I know there's a lot of people out there that would just definitely love to have their time down that low, and until just very recently, that was about as good as I could do on a PB. And this is a really, really tough game, and still a respectable time, a lot of respectable moments, and a lot of respect, Sasha, for finishing that round, for finishing that run. Thank you.
Absolutely. That time, regardless of the race, is still a really respectable time, and a GG to both runners on giving us a good show. And good luck in the future. Good luck to Zoast and his future matches. He's got some great competitors coming up. Sasha, well done, absolutely. And we wish you well in whatever endeavors you decide to embark on in the future.
Do we hear is Sasha for an interview?
We will see if Sasha wants to come in.
So, I mean, it would be kind of cool if he did. I mean, I would like to talk about what was going through his mind during that Phantoon race, or that Phantoon section.
Yeah, I'm gonna poke Sasha now. It looks like we may have Sasha ready to getting ready to come in for the interview, and here is Sasha Boss now. Sasha, GG, welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
GG,
you
dude.
for giving us a great show. And how are you? How do you what do you want to talk about in your run, and what's up with you?
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, that run was good up until Phantoon. That's not how I wanted the fight to go. That was what, like a 7 round or something.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It was more like my average Phantoon fight. So, I've had my share of 7 rounds. They're pretty normal for me.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
couple of times where you went for the pseudo screw shot and it just didn't hit for whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I need to do some Phantoon practice again. I used to get a consistent 2 rounds all the time, but yeah, I just need some practice.
Well, I got to tell you, it made for one of the most exciting moments of any of our tournament matches so far, and there have been some real nail biters here. But what a harrowing experience! And then going through the wrecked ship and seeing how much damage you took, and then you fell on the spikes. I mean, I was sitting here, my heart was beating so fast, I was on the edge of my seat. My wife was in the other room saying, keep it down, keep it down." But holy cow, that was exciting.
Yeah, I was just putting on a good show. That was it. I fell intentionally.
Well,
Oh
well,
man,
you certainly
you
gave
had
us a
me
good
going,
show.
man. Wow.
Yeah, that was really bad too. Ugh. I practiced that before the run as well, but these things happen.
Absolutely. This is Super Metroid. I've practiced many of things and then go to do a run, and the exact thing I practice just goes horribly wrong. So I
Tough
definitely
game.
There's not a
understand
person
that.
in the community that hasn't had a race go south really fast, even with a really stellar movement in the opener. And I got to tell you, I mean, you really had some really great movement. It was really exciting to watch, and even in the
Well,
rooms where
thanks.
some of the strats didn't connect. I mean, we can tell that you really are a solid runner in this race, and I really appreciate you sticking it out to the end. And your 100% has been confirmed, so congratulations, a valid run.
Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for racing. Thank you for putting on a show. Thank the Zoast for giving us a good show as well. And I think that is almost a wrap. Is there anything else you wanna leave the audience with, or leave your opponent with, and any final words you have for you, Sasha Boss?
Well, just like to say it's an honor racing Zoast. He's such a legend in the community, and to me, he's like the best runner of all time in Super Metroid. And even though I'm not on his level, it was still an honor to race him. So, I'm happy about that.
Absolutely, I would be too. I think and any runner is really honored to run against any other runner who has the ability to put themselves out there in a race, including you, Sasho Boss. But I understand your words against Zost. He's a great runner, and I greatly appreciate you coming on to give us a few words. Kev, you have
I
anything else?
Yes, I was going to say, Sasha, I am very honored to have commentated this race, and for you and Zos, it's definitely a pleasure, and it's just always great to watch anybody run Super Metroid, regardless of how they're doing. It was just really great. Thank you so much. A very just an honor to be here with all of you.
Not a problem.
Right
Thanks for the
on.
comms.
No
Absolutely.
problem.
So any up next as far as this tournament goes? Tomorrow we have a 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time race between Azu and Oats and Goats. We also have tomorrow at 10 p.m. A Real Cutie versus Hero 82. Then we got some nice weekend races. Saturday, we've got Nin Toaster versus Hodarubi at 9 a.m. Get some good coffee or some tea for that one. You're going to wake up and check that out. We've got a 6 p.m. race on Saturday between Shiny Zenny and Zeb 316. That's going to be a great race. And then Sunday, while you're sitting around just having a rest, you can view Aussie and Slaughter's 27 at 3 p.m. Got a lot of great Super Metroid content coming at you for you. And the winner, Zoast, of this race is going to face against whoever is the winner of Slaughter's and Aussie. So it's just really, really great runners, really great race, really great tournament. And if you didn't know before, there's a massive, at the top right of your screen, $2,250 prize pool that's going to go out to a lot of these first, second, third, fourth place runners. I forget exactly how it goes, but I think the first place runner gets $1,000 and it goes on from there. So, we are ready for some more Super Metroid and ready to go. As I've been talking for a while, if anybody else wants to say anything else, now's your time. Otherwise, I will sign us off and let everybody get on about their day.
Well,
Anybody
I will
else?
say, Papa, it was an honor doing it, a pleasure doing another race with you. I hope we get to continue to do comms together. It's just what a great time, and thank you again for encouraging me to do this, telling me how fun it was, and what a blast. And thanks to all the fans and all the organizers and everybody. Once again, it's a pleasure and honor, and we can sign off.
Absolutely. All right. Well, to everybody here, to sashoboss, to Zoast, to Kevin Essex, give them a follow if you haven't already. And we will see you all next mission, which
See you
is
next mission.
Friday at 7 p.m. All right. See you.